A sneak peek into the redeveloped Huanggang Port in Shenzhen, where travelers only need to pass a single gate to cross the border. In written statements, contractors who didn't testify verbally at Tai Po fire hearings deny bid rigging, while a district councillor denies proxy vote abuse. And death toll rises in the earthquake that struck Japan's Kumamoto Prefecture. Rescue continued to comb through the blast-hit Aeon Mall. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yan. The revamped Huanggang Port is one step closer to launch, as Hong Kong will take jurisdiction over parts of the building at midnight. Let's take a look at the brand new border facilities on the Shenzhen site and how a joint inspection model helps travelers breeze through border checks. Jamie Liu shows us more.
This is the first glimpse of the redeveloped Huanggang Port on the Shenzhen area. For Hong Kong-bound travelers, this is the B1 floor, where they will pass through if they arrive by bus or metro trains. They can take escalators to reach the fourth floor, where the border clearing gates are. Under a co-location arrangement, it is also the first time a Hong Kong-Shenzhen checkpoint uses a joint inspection model. To cross the border, travelers only need to go through a 3-gate portal instead of multiple counters. Clearance time is expected to sharply drop compared to the previous 30 minutes. There is no official launch date yet. Hong Kong and Shenzhen will finalize the opening once they confirm the port is ready for safe and smooth operation. This comes as the Hong Kong port area will come under SAR jurisdiction from midnight. And to facilitate that, the Hong Kong and Shenzhen governments today signed a series of agreements. Parts of the port will be leased to Hong Kong for a symbolic 1,000 yuan yearly until June 30th, 2047, and may be renewed. Secretary for Security Chris Tang said both sides will work closely to conduct trials and drills. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The independent committee probing the deadly Tai Po fire released written statements from several key figures who did not testify in person at the hearings, including directors of main contractor Prestige Construction, who denied rigging bids. Jamie Liu reports.
The statements are now available on the committee's website. Submitters include 2 directors of the main contractor responsible for Wangfu Court's renovation project. Gordon Ho is in custody facing charges of manslaughter. He is accused of asking the scaffolding subcontractor to replace damaged nets with non-fire retardant ones and using foam boards to cover windows. Ho said he received no complaints about flammable construction materials and that the scaffold nets were of high quality, coming with a safety certificate. To him, it is not foreseeable that these materials were the source of the fire. Both Ho and his colleague Hao Wa-kin denied allegations of bid rigging and collusions. Pointing to a contained scale of the field, Hao said it is common that contractors know each other, vowing that Prestige went through the tender with utmost integrity. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Also entering her witness statement, Tai Po District Councillor Peggy Wang, who has been criticized for her ties to Wangfu Court's former owners committee, denied advising on contractor selection or manipulating proxy votes to approve the estate's controversial renovation. In 2 written statements submitted to the inquiry committee on April 8th and May 8th, Wang said she provided no input on contractor selection, tender evaluation, or the budget, and played no role in monitoring progress despite her advisory position. Regarding the committee's inquiry about her handling 279 proxy votes across 2 general meetings in 2021 and 2024, Wang acknowledged the work but said only about 20 were assigned to her personally. The rest, she said, were collected on behalf of the management company. Addressing residents' testimony, Wang dismissed allegations of fake proxy votes and forged signatures as hearsay. She also rejected claims that she and her team went door-to-door pressuring residents into giving their votes, calling them pure speculation. She added that when residents asked to withdraw their proxy votes, she returned them immediately without creating any difficulties. She also denied that her social media post calling the fire a man-made tragedy showed prior knowledge, saying it referred to workers' negligence in general, not targeting any individual. In Japan, the death toll from the 7.1 magnitude earthquake that struck Kumamoto Prefecture on Tuesday has risen to at least 34, including 7 at Kashima's Aeon shopping mall and another 8 at Nippon Paper Industries' Yatsushiro mill, as rescuers race against the clock to find survivors. Cheryl Yun reports.
2 days after an explosion at the Aeon shopping mall in the town of Kashima, rescue teams are still searching for people trapped in the rubble ahead of the critical 72-hour mark. Interior footage showed severe damage to the second-floor shops, with goods and shelves scattered across the ground. At the Nippon Paper Industries mill in Yatsushiro, where a chimney collapsed, rescuers found multiple bodies as they continued searching for the 11 trapped workers. The powerful quake, followed by more than 260 aftershocks, flattened homes and buildings across the region. In the rural town of Hikawa, one of the hardest-hit areas, more than 100 older houses collapsed. Sections of the JR Kyushu Shinkansen remain suspended, and multiple expressways in Kumamoto Prefecture have been closed. Several car factories and semiconductor plants in the prefecture have also halted operations. Survivors and rescue workers now face another challenge: extreme heat. Temperatures in Kumamoto City are forecast to reach as high as 35 degrees Celsius. Japan's meteorological agency has issued heat stroke warnings for Kumamoto and 30 other prefectures, urging people involved in outdoor recovery or rescue efforts to take extra precautions. Japan's Earthquake Research Committee made a preliminary assessment that the quake was triggered by movement along part of the Hinagu fault zone, which also caused major earthquakes in the southwestern Japan prefecture a decade ago. Officials have warned of the possibility of an even larger quake to follow, urging people to remain on alert. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Back to Hong Kong, the city's suicide rate fell to its 5-year low last year, according to a care group. But the relief is shadowed by a troubling surge in youth suicides. New statistics from the Samaritan Befrienders Hong Kong show the city recorded 1,019 suicide deaths in 2025, a 10% drop from the year before, with the rate falling from 15.1 to 13.57 per 100,000 people. This marks the lowest level since 2020 and is held as evidence that prevention measures are working for some groups. Yet the picture is mixed. Men accounted for more than 64% of cases, and people aged 70 or above for over 25%, both on the decline. The only increase occurred among children and youth. Suicides in the 0 to 19 age bracket jumped more than 30% year-on-year, the highest in a decade. The charity identified family issues, mental health struggles, and relationship problems as the top 3 triggers. It urged the government to expand the 3-tier emergency referral network and make school-based crisis screening a permanent service. A former associate consultant at Queen Elizabeth Hospital has been sentenced to 160 hours of community service in order to pay $20,000 in compensation to the hospital authority after being found guilty of prescribing excessive amounts of controlled drugs for his own use. Li Qilun, 50, an ear, nose, and throat specialist, was convicted in March of 2 counts of misconduct in public office for systematically abusing his position to obtain more than 1,000 bottles of cough syrup and over 400 ADHD medication tablets for family members and acquaintances between 2015 and 2020. The case has been adjourned until today for background reports and a urine drug test before sentencing. In handing down judgment, District Judge Josiah Lam said the doctor had prescribed drugs for his own purposes, but not for those with medical needs, calling it a dangerous breach of professional ethics that abused public resources. The court heard that Lee had struggled with untreated mental health issues since childhood, but sought help in 2024, and his condition is now under control. His defense argued he showed no signs of drug dependency and had practiced without receiving complaint in recent years. Accepting that Lee was unlikely to re-offend, the judge opted for community service instead of imprisonment. With the drug's estimated cost and hospital authority administrative expenses factored in, Lee was ordered to pay $20,000 in compensation, to be deducted from his bail money. 3 Greek firefighters have died while tackling wildfires that are raging across southern Europe. Meanwhile, extreme heat is threatening to reignite or add new fires in Spain and France. Jamie Liu reports.
In Turkey, an eerie orange haze descended over the sky above the southwestern province Muğla. Fanned by strong winds, towering flames could be seen devouring vast stretches of roadside bushes and forests. It prompted nearby residents to flee and a hospital to evacuate patients. Several major roads were shut. In the neighboring Greece, a ribbon of flame stretched across the mountain ridge on the Crete island. The blazes also threatened the resort village of Agia Galini and forced holidaymakers to leave. 2 firemen lost their lives while battling the wildfire, and a third died in tackling a separate forest blaze in the south. The Hellenic Coast Guard are on standby in case sea evacuations from Crete become necessary. Meanwhile, a new heat wave sweeping parts of Europe is fueling forest fires in southwestern France. Fire crews said the biggest blaze, with 4 times the size of Paris, stayed put overnight thanks to calm conditions. But with the heat climbing close to 40 degrees Celsius and winds picking up, it could hinder firefighting efforts. Special measures were put in place to prevent chemical disasters as fires closed in on missile and rocket factories there. In northwestern Spain, a fast-moving wildfire forced at least 12 towns or villages to evacuate. The military mobilized more than 40 ground and air forces to help with emergency responses. Jamie Liu, Kiwi News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 50 points. Top active stocks of the day: Tracker Fund was up 8 cents, Tencent was up $5.40. SMIC was down $5.20, and ZAI was down $171. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 9.00, Japanese yen 48.14. Onto the weather now. Mainly cloudy with occasional showers and squally thunderstorms. Showers will be heavier in some areas tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 25 and 29 degrees. Moderate east to southeasterly winds. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.